So can we talk first of all about the market as you see it today? What's happening out there?
That's a great question, Alan. It's a dynamic market, first of all, and it's a shifting market. The first shift we're making is the shift from price to value, and that's an important customer expectation. The value proposition is everything today, and when the market is troubled or challenged, you need to be able to sort of maneuver or navigate, and our way of navigating is to try to emphasize the value proposition. You're sitting on one example of that, which is a proud Legacy 500, and it's a clean sheet design aircraft that offers a flat floor and full fly-by-wire, and the technology and the cabin features allow us to be competitive in not only the mid-size cabin space, but we're even seeing some value from the larger aircraft coming down to compete with us because our value proposition is so compelling.
The family of aircraft you mentioned technology, and we talk a lot about innovation. Embraer is associated with that innovation, and only recently talking about getting into bed with Uber, for example, or something that competes entirely against what you're doing. Can you just explain a little bit about where Embraer is going in that field?
Well, it's an excellent point of view, and it's 47 years of innovation. When you think about defense, commercial, executive jet, and defense systems, it's always been about innovation when it comes to Embraer. So I'm not surprised that the family has reached out to look at what's the future hold in terms of investment in innovation. So partnering with our Innova project, putting into our Melbourne facility, right where our base is in the United States, and bringing innovation for the technology that you're speaking about, which is the VTOL, is very exciting. It's closer to 2020, 2023 for Dallas and Dubai. That's the challenge. We like to be a part of that challenge, and I think it's a complement to Embraer in terms of its engineering, design, analytics, and capability. So where it goes, we'll see. We're just happy to be a part of it.
And you sound like there's a sense of optimism coming through. So green shoots of recovery from the manufacturers, not just the operators?
Yeah, so I think it depends. So we happen to be benefited by the fact that we have our Phenom 100, Phenom 300. Most best-selling delivered jet is obviously the Phenom 300 for the last 4 years running, as you know. And so that speaks to a broad base of customers. We're seeing traction both from corporate flight departments, fleet operators, as well as private pilots. And so that's invigorating the growth of the marketplace for the small and light jet areas. And now with the new entrance of the 450 and 500, we're now bringing the technology, the cabin, the performance characteristics of the large cabin segment into the mid-size cabin category. And that creates conversation. And that conversation leads to more optimistic views in regards to transactions. Europe, as an example, we have a presence in our small and mid-sized cabin. It's almost 50% of the marketplace right here in Europe, just as an example of why we feel that things are starting to turn. When you look at net buyer, net seller, so when you measure data and you look at the data, for the last 6 years, there's been a net seller strategy in this marketplace, aircraft leaving and being exported to other areas. Now we're starting to be right at that cusp of being a net buyer, and that means there's a brighter future for the region, and we're excited about that.